May 11th, 1945. You are aboard the destroyer Evans in company with the destroyer Hugh W. Handley, patrolling on radar picket station 15, midway between Japan and Okinawa, providing early warning to the U.S. invasion fleet of enemy aircraft attacks manned by suicide pilots called kamikazes, the Divine Wind, inflicting death and destruction on U.S. surface vessels. Ship's log, 8:30 a.m.
All hands, man your battle stations. Enemy air attack.
3 low-flying enemy planes are closing on the same bearing off the port quarter. The distance is about 6 miles at 1,500-yard intervals. 8:31 a.m. Commenced firing and shot down leading plane identified as a Kate at about 6,000 yards by the main battery. The second plane, also a Kate, was hit and disintegrated at 4,000 yards on the port beam. The third plane, also a Kate, went down in flames about 500 yards off the port beam as a result of 40mm fire. Continued firing as a severe enemy air attack developed. 8:35 a.m. Opened fire at the same time as the USS Handley on a plane coming in on her beam in a shallow dive at about 3,500 yards from the Handley and the Evans. The aircraft splashed dead ahead of the Evans and on beam of the Handley at about 3,000 yards. An assist with the Handley. 8:39 a.m. An enemy plane identified as a Zeke approached from high on the starboard quarter in a steep dive. It was taken under fire by the main battery at 7,000 yards and by 40mm at 3,500 yards. The plane splashed on the starboard quarter at about 2,500 yards. 8:41 a.m. Another Japanese Zeke approached from high on the starboard quarter in a steep dive. It was taken under fire by 40mm and 20mm battery at 2,000 yards, and the plane was shot down some 800 yards on the starboard beam. 8:45 a.m. An enemy plane identified as a Tony approached on the Evans port bow toward the Handley in a shallow dive at high speed. It was taken under fire by the 5-inch battery at 5,000 yards. The plane splashed close aboard the Handley on her port quarter. Another assist with the Handley. 8:47 a.m. Another Tony approached from high and deep on the port quarter in a very steep dive. It was taken under fire by 40mm and 20mm battery and set on fire. It dropped a bomb close aboard on the starboard bow and was taken under fire by the main battery and shot down 1,500 yards on the starboard bow. 8:49 a.m. An enemy plane identified as an Oscar approached from the port quarter in a shallow, high-speed dive. It was taken under fire by the 5-inch battery at 6,000 yards, machine gun battery at 4,000 yards. The plane crashed in flames 1,000 yards on the port quarter. 8:50 a.m. An enemy plane identified as a Jill was taken under fire by the main battery at 10,000 yards on the port beam at a very low altitude. The plane was shot down at 7,000 yards. 8:51 a.m. A Japanese Kate was taken under fire by the main battery and machine gun battery at 5,000 yards. The plane was on fire at 3,000 yards, but managed to drop a torpedo at 200 yards forward off the port beam. A hard left rudder was ordered, and the torpedo crossed just ahead of the bow. The plane, already on fire, was shot down going away some 2,000 yards off the starboard bow. 8:54 a.m. An enemy plane identified as a Tony approached from the Evans port bow and was taken under fire by the Evans and the Handley's main batteries at 7,000 yards. The plane was shot down equal distance from the Handley and the Evans at 3,500 yards. Another assist with the Handley. 8:56 a.m. An enemy plane identified as a Val approached from high and deep on the port quarter. It was taken under fire by the main battery at 6,000 yards, by the machine gun battery at 4,000 yards. The plane was set on fire at 2,000 yards, crossed our ship, and crashed 2,000 yards off the starboard bow. 9:01 a.m. A Japanese Oscar approached from deep on the port quarter in a shallow, high-speed dive. It was taken under fire by the main battery at 6,000 yards. The plane was set on fire at 4,000 yards and dropped a bomb 400 yards on the port quarter. The plane was shot down going away at 1,500 yards on the port bow. An enemy plane identified as a Jill approached from the port beam at a very low altitude. The plane was taken under fire by the machine gun battery at 5,000 yards. We shot off the plane's port wing, and the plane crossed 500 yards on the port beam. 9:04 a.m. An enemy plane identified as a Tony approached from deep on the port quarter, altitude about 2,500 feet. It was taken under fire by the main battery at 10,000 yards and was shot down 9,000 yards on the port quarter. 9:07 a.m. An enemy plane identified as a Judy was taken under fire at 3,000 yards on the port bow. The plane was on fire at 1,000 yards and crashed into our port bow. 9:09 a.m. A Japanese Tony approached from the port beam at an altitude of 2,000 feet. The plane was taken under fire by the main battery at 8,000 yards and was shot down at 3,500 yards. 9:11 a.m. Another enemy plane approached on the port beam. It was taken under fire by the main battery and machine guns. The plane was set on fire but suicided into our port side. A bomb pierced the hull and exploded in the after fire room. The after fire room and engine room flooded instantly. Steering control of the Evans is lost. 9:13 a.m. Another enemy aircraft identified as an Oscar was taken under fire and hit by both the main and machine gun batteries. The plane suicided into the superstructure deck and crashed through the galley. A bomb penetrated the main deck, exploding in the forward fire room. Another Oscar approached from the starboard bow, crashing in approximately the same location on the starboard side, causing gasoline fires on the main deck, the bridge, and director deck. All power, light, and communications is lost. The Evans is now dead in the water. 9:25 a.m. Enemy aircraft approached from dead ahead with our combat air patrol in pursuit. The planes were taken under fire and hit by the Evans No. 2 40mm machine gun. The plane crashed astern, an assist with the combat air patrol. The combat effectiveness of the Evans was over. Although the Evans was saved and towed 8,000 miles to California, she would never again steam under her own power. In less than 1 hour, the Evans accounted for 23 Japanese aircraft, including 15 shot down, 4 assists, and 4 that crashed aboard. But the cost was tremendous. 32 killed, 31 wounded. As you pass through the Evans room, please pause for a moment to reflect on the memory of the ship's company who served aboard, and especially to those 32 young men who sacrificed their lives performing their assignments in battle action while defending their country.